In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, I bear witness there is no God but God, and God is the only one who has the right to be worshipped. I also bear witness that Prophet Moses, Prophet Jesus, and Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon them, are the messengers of God, and I seek refuge in Allah from the rejected Satan. So greetings of peace, and thanks for tuning in. May the peace and blessings of Allah be with you. So in these videos, we prepare for the coming of Imam Mahdi, as well as the second coming of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon them, also known as the Mashiachs, Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David in the Jewish tradition. So we're going to be looking at the law of worship. Now, in these videos, I don't sell products, I don't sell falsehoods, I don't sell, entertainment so much. What I sell in these videos is sweetness of Iman. One of the goals of my videos is to uplift the vibration of humanity, not only myself, but all of humanity, inshallah, and developing the sweetness of Iman, sweetness of faith, which is generated by doing what Allah makes lawful, staying away from the unlawful things that Allah forbids. For example, doing your daily prayers on time, giving in charity, doing good deeds to other people, worshiping the unique creator of all that exists alone. Now, when it comes to worship, we all will worship something. If you don't worship the unique creator of all that exists, then one might worship his own desires, his own lusts. Some people might worship the almighty dollar, and the list goes on and on. So the human beings are designed to worship. So they'll worship something, even though it might come down to their own desires and lusts. So it's very important that we direct and keep our attention on the unique creator of all that exists as much as possible, that we keep our attention upon him during the course of our days, because that will also generate the sweetness of a man. So one of the goals of these videos is not just to prepare for the coming of Imam Mahdi, as well as the second coming of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon them, but it's just to generate this sweetness of a man. And we can only imagine how that's going to be in the time of Imam Mahdi, as well as the second coming of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon them. So we can imagine the sweetness of the man in that time is going to be very high. The closeness, the unique creator of all that exists. They're going to be living more according to the divine laws and commandments that Allah has prescribed for us. And by doing that, that's going to increase that Iman. So I'm going to read off some of these Quran verses, and this is going to help us understand the law of worship on a deeper level, which will help us prepare for the coming of Imam Mahdi, as well as the coming of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon them, and also bring our attention upon the unique creator of all that exists, and understanding these concepts and embodying them will give us raise our frequency, which will give us this sweetness and closeness to the unique creator of all that exists. Now, money can't buy this sweetness of Iman, the sweetness of faith. Only particular actions you can accomplish this. So it's very beneficial. This knowledge is very beneficial. It comes from the Quran, and will generate the sweetness of Iman and bring one closer to the unique creator of all that exists, and be more rightly guided if truly and sincerely wanting to embody this knowledge. So I'm just going to read off the headings and then carry on with the Quran verses and just go upon that. And if you want to follow me along, it'll be in the description box below. Eat, so this is the law of worship. Eat good and pure things and render thanks to Allah alone. O you who believe, eat the good and pure things we have provided you with, and render thanks to Allah, if it is He alone whom you really worship. Look to your elegance by dressing properly at every time and place of worship. O children of Adam, look to your elegance by dressing properly at every time and place of worship, and eat and drink, but not of the bounds, for He does not love those who exceed the bounds. Those who are near to your Lord do not wax too proud to worship and prostrate to Him. Verily, those who are near to your Lord and feel His presence with them do not wax too proud to worship Him, but they glorify Him and prostrate themselves in obedience to Him. There is not even a single thing but glorifies Allah with His true and perfect praise. The seven heavens, the earth, and all those inhabiting them, extol his glory. In fact, there is not even a single thing but glorifies him with his true and perfect praise. But you do not understand their glorification. Verily, most forbearing is he, great protector. All true and perfect praise belongs to Allah, and extol his glory with repeated glorification. And say, all true and perfect praise belongs to Allah, who has not taken to himself a son, and who has not associated partner in his kingdom, nor has he any helper because of any weakness, and extol his glory with repeated glorification. Allah has prescribed for every people modes of worship which they should observe. We have prescribed for every people modes of worship which they should observe. Let them not therefore dispute with you in the matter of Islamic mode of worship, and call the people to your Lord, for you are indeed on the exact and right guidance. We sent messenger Noah from among themselves, who said, worship Allah, you have no other God than He. And we sent to them a messenger from among themselves, who said, worship Allah, you have no other God than He. Will you not then guard against evil deeds? Worship Allah alone, being truly sincere to Him in obedience. Surely it is we who have revealed the book to you with the established truth to suit the requirements of truth and wisdom. So worship Allah, being truly sincere to Him in obedience. Beware, sincere and true obedience is due to Allah alone. Those who choose other as a patron besides Him say, we serve them only that they may bring us near to Allah and station. It is absolutely wrong. Allah will judge the differences between these believers and disbelievers. Indeed, Allah does not guide him to success who is a liar, highly ungrateful. Orders to worship Allah, being truly sincere to Him alone in obedience. Verily, I have orders to worship Allah, being truly sincere to Him alone in obedience. It is a manifest loss to those who worship besides Allah. Say, it is Allah I worship, being purely sincere to Him in my obedience. Again, as for you, you may go and worship whomsoever you please apart from Him. Say, the true losers are those who ruin their own souls and their families on the day of resurrection. Beware, surely that is the manifest loss. All true and perfect praise belongs to Allah. Allah describes the condition of a man belonging to several partners, contending with one another, and there is another man devoted wholly to one person. Are the two alike in condition? No, how can they be? All true and perfect praise belongs to Allah, but most of them do not know this truth. Associating partners with Allah in your worship will have all your such works go in vain entirely, and you shall certainly be of the losers. Rather, you should worship Allah alone. Say, do you bid me to worship other beings than Allah, O you ignorant ones? Mind, it has already been revealed to you that your predecessors, in case you associate partners with Allah in your worship, of all your such works shall go in vain entirely, and you shall certainly be of the losers. Rather, you should worship Allah alone and be thankful to Him. They have not yet appreciated the attributes of Allah with the importance and appreciation that He deserves. The earth altogether shall be in His grip of power on the day of resurrection, and the heavens shall be rolled up in His all-powerful hand, and will so lie at His absolute disposal. Holy is He is far above and beyond the things these polytheists associate with Him. There is no other, cannot be, will never be one worthy of worship but Allah. Allah, there is no other, cannot be, and will never be one worthy of worship but He. So let the believers put their trust in Allah. The mosques are meant for the worship of Allah, and that the mosques are meant for the worship of Allah, so call on no one therein besides Allah. Glorify Allah with His praise and extol His name. So glorify your Lord with His praises and extol His name and ask His protection. Surely He is oft returning with grace and mercy. So those are some of the Quran verses, which will be in the description box below. that indicate and discuss about the laws and commandments of worship. Very important that we keep our attention on the unique creator of all that exists as much as we can. Allah prescribes that we always keep our attention upon Him, doing things that are pleasing to Allah, unique creator of all that exists, being very thankful, being very grateful, praising God for all the blessings that Allah provides for us. Everything comes from Allah. We're all within Allah. Nothing exists outside of Allah. All the things, all the people that Allah has created is all blessings for us in this life, and also, more importantly, our eternal abode in the hereafter. So there's lots to be grateful for. There's lots to be thankful for. There is so much that we owe that we can never pay back to the unique creator of all that exists. So, and a lot of us, as Allah explains in the Quran, that we don't understand Allah's true attributes, that He is truly the unique creator of all that exists, that He has perfect control and power over all things. He regulates all affairs. He knows all things. He's present in all places. He understands all wisdoms. All laws and commandments are sourced from God. So the list goes on and on to understand His attributes and understand that Allah provides for all of us, and to put our trust and faith in Allah, the unique creator of all that exists. Let's not put our trust in our own desires and whims and things like that. Whatever skills that we have, Allah has blessed us with those skills. So everything truly does come from the creator of all that exists, and it's to show that gratitude, to have that consciousness of Allah always, and that will generate this sweetness of Iman. Will help us be better prepared for the coming of Imam Mahdi, as well as the second coming of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon them, also known as the Mashiachs. So like I mentioned before in these videos, we're preparing for their coming, but also preparing our hearts, preparing our knowledge, and building up and generating this sweetness of Iman, and that is only done, like I said, by keeping Allah in our thoughts as much as possible, doing what Allah makes lawful, staying away from the unlawful things, doing our daily prayers on time, giving in charity to the needy, and in the cause of Allah, the unique creator of all that exists. Lots of different stuff, being thankful, being grateful, things like that. The basic stuff really pays off, really gives you that sweetness of Iman, and that's what I try to provide in these videos for people, to get that taste, because once you get that taste of that sweetness, you really don't want to let it go. You always, if you do lose it, you want to get it back. Then just get yourself back on track if you ever do. Allah is the most merciful, most forgiving, and Allah wants all His creations very close to Him, as He is always very close to us. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took Allah as your shield, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be with you. Thank you so much. Peace.